What's good, family? Hey, EXPs. How are you guys doing? It is Jay, your experiential marketing coach. The IG Live family is already here with me live and in full effect. So if you guys are checking in with me, whether you are on my YouTube channel, y'all go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button because I'm gonna give you guys a lot of good gems tonight that's gonna help you understand how to negotiate compensation and what it takes for you to be able to demand the pay, or in our case, the compensation that you deserve. So definitely let me know where you're checking in from. Throw me some hearts, throw me some likes in the comments. And as always, while I am live, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments below so I can be sure to answer them. All right. So tonight I want to talk to you guys about understanding how to negotiate higher compensation, right? Oftentimes, when you are working as an experiential marketing professional at mainly at the tour manager, the event manager level, but it happens off sometimes too at the brand ambassador level. You may have an opportunity or a chance to be able to um, demand or receive higher compensation for your services, right? What does that look like for you? How do you negotiate that? What do you need to do to make sure that you are being paid your worth? Because I talk about it all the time, right? Knowing your worth and making sure that you are adding tax. But there's a couple things that I want to go over tonight to make sure you guys are in alignment and you guys understand what it takes to be able to do so. I had a call with one of my mentees today, and he was asking me, Jay, I've been in the industry for a while. I'm managing this program. I've been working with this client now for well over 6 months, actually almost a year. They love me. They want to keep me. The agency loves me. I built a great rapport with the client, but that client wants to pay me more, and they are willing to go ahead and pay me more for my services, right? But when this this pay, this new compensation is then received by the agency, the pay does not add up because again, the agency has to take out their fee. So he was saying, Jay, how do I go about negotiating higher compensation with the agency? Because remember, when you're executing events in the experiential marketing industry, oftentimes you're going through a staffing or experiential marketing agency because they are essentially staffing you or hiring you on behalf of their client, on behalf of the brand. So you have two different parties involved. And oftentimes, when you are looking, when you've established yourself, when you've been able to create yourself as the brand within that brand, when you just went in there and killed it, right? The event or the tour went well, the tour was successful, the client got all their goals met, the ROI was met, the agency was happy, the brand was happy. And if they decide that they want to continue this tour for maybe, do it next year or keep it going, extend the tour, then there's opportunities and chances for you to ask for higher compensation, right? How do you go about doing it? Because I've had to work through this numerous times, especially being a tour manager and really understanding the different dynamics and what goes into that. All right. So I'm going to jump right into it with my first thing. All right. Number one, understanding your USP. All right. This is something that we talk about, coaches talk about, consultants talk about, but you guys, I'm always telling you, you are a brand within a brand. So you got to represent yourself accordingly. You are a brand for these agencies. You are a brand for these clients. But more importantly, you are a brand within yourself, right? So you are marketing your services, whether you are a brand ambassador, a team lead, a product specialist, you're still providing a service. So understanding that you are a brand is important. And what is your USB, USP? USP stands for your unique selling proposition. Basically, what experience do you have which makes you unique and qualified for the opportunity, right? What is your what ROI have you been able to receive? And let me go back and break it down because the girl, I can get long-winded, but I need to go in depth and detail and explain this to you guys. So USP, your unique selling proposition, right? We all have a unique set of skills. We all have a unique set of characteristics. We all have different experiences and different things that you can leverage when you are going in and negotiating for higher compensation. All right, as an experiential marketing professional. And this can apply to coaches, consultants, even if you work a 9 to 5. But we all have a different set of experiences that we can leverage. So, what experience can you bring to a program? What set of talents, what set of learning lessons, things that you had to leverage and that you had to learn and go through and grow through, that you can present as a USP, as a unique selling proposition to the client, to the agency, right? That will validate the compensation that you're looking to receive. All right. Two, the ROI, the return on investment. This applies especially if you've been working with a client or working with the agency. Let's say they hired you for a tour, hired you for a program, and that tour was 2 to 3 months, right? And you were able to execute the tour successfully. The client was happy. They had a positive return on investment. These are all numbers. These are all metrics, right? Everything that you did for that tour, that program, you need to be documented, because those are key metrics and key data and numbers that you can use later on if that agency, if that brand wants to bring you back to extend the tour, or to bring you back in another year to execute the same program. What return on investment did you provide for that client and for that agency, right? Sometimes it's not always monetary, the ROI. It may not always be monetary. It may be the fact that you were able to successfully execute that program and keep it afloat and keep the morale high on tour, right? Those are things that you definitely have to keep in mind. The return on investment. Sometimes it can be that you just were a pleasure to work with, that you made things easy, that you communicated any issues in a timely manner. Those are all things that you can sell, right? Because again, you are a brand, right? Those are things that you can leverage and that you can position as return on investments that you were able to receive for agency, for a client. I talk about this oftentimes when I'm teaching my students about resumes, right? ROI. Add some numbers in there. Maybe the goal and the metrics was for you to interact and engage with 500 to 600, right, consumers during an event. Did you meet those metrics? Did you meet those goals? If so, how much? When brands, when clients, when experiential marketing and staff and agencies see numbers and see that you were able to meet or exceed goals, it helps as well to create that USP, that unique selling proposition. Results. I was just talking about that, right? What past results have you had from other tours or other programs that you can leverage to negotiate a higher compensation, right? It may be the fact that you are looking to obtain a particular tour, right, opportunity, or even a brand ambassador opportunity, but the pay may not be in alignment with what you're used to receiving. This is your chance now to sell that account manager or that staffing coordinator on your past experiences and how they're gonna be able to benefit, and how you're gonna be able to leverage that to make sure that the event or the program is executed at its highest level. All right. So, and then lastly, any testimonials. Whether you worked as a brand ambassador and you work with a tour manager who just love working with you, get those testimonials, whether it's a past experiential marketing or staffing agency or an account manager or account coordinator. What testimonials do you have, right, of your success stories, of the experience that you've been able to obtain, of the results that you were able to get, of the things that you were able to do successfully on behalf of that brand, for that agency, right, for that client? What testimonials can you provide to further solidify why you need a higher compensation? All right. Again, this all has to do with your USP. These are things that I wrote down, and I wrote it down here on my board so I can stay on task, right? These are all things that have to do with your USP, your unique selling proposition. All right. Because at the end of the day, guys, you got to remember, you are selling yourself, right? You are selling your experience. You are selling your industry expertise. You are selling your knowledge. As for me and my experiences over the years, I have found that closed mouths don't get fed. I'm gonna say it again. Closed mouths don't get fed. All right. And if you have the experience, oftentimes I meet so many experiential marketing professionals. I meet so many brand ambassadors who have stayed at a brand ambassador for so long and who were afraid to move into the tour manager position, who were afraid to leverage their experience and continue to apply and and reach out to the agencies, right? And even ask for compensation. I've met so many tour managers who devalue and don't know their worth, right? They take a job, they take a program, they take a tour, they take an event for the strength of just having money coming in. And then when you get on tour or you get on this program, or for my coaches and clients, you take on this client for less money, and then you disappointed, you mad because that client may be asking for more, that agency may be giving, maybe overwork and underpaying you, meaning they're asking you to provide all these different services for you to do all this different work, right? They need you to perform a laundry list of tasks that were not outlined in your contract, but they're not willing to pay you more, right? And it's not your fault, because at the end of the day, it is their job to make sure that they are negotiating higher compensation when they're working with their brand and their client. They're negotiating a compensation which aligns with the quality experiential marketing professional that they want to hire, right? Oftentimes, it's the tour managers, it's the brand ambassadors, it's the product specialists, it's the field staff. I'm gonna just say that it's the EXPs, it's the field staff who get the bottom half of the totem pole when it comes to negotiating higher pay, right? When these brands and these experiential marketing and staffing agencies are pitching these programs to their brands, that paid for EXPs is oftentimes the first thing to go. It's the first thing to be devalued and negotiated and be at a lower rate, right? When, in my opinion, it should be on the flip side, because at the end of the day, without EXPs, without brand ambassadors in the field interacting and engaging with consumers and providing a memorable experience, you don't have an experiential marketing tool, you don't have an experiential marketing program. So you have, guys, we got to remember, right, that compensation matters. Knowing your worth matters. Knowing your worth and adding tax matters. But if you're going to know your worth and you're going to add tax and you're going to demand this pay, baby, you better be able to back it up with the work. You better be able to come in and back it up with the experience. You better be able to come in there and troubleshoot things at a moment's notice. You better be able to be organized and have great time management skills. You better be able to be an effective team player. You better be able to come in and provide that ROI, that return on investment that these clients and that these agencies are looking for. It's okay to go in there and have a great resume and do all things right in the initial stages to get the program. But you got to be able, outside of that, you got to be able to perform. You got to be able to go to work. My coaches, my clients, my corporate 9 to 5 people, you can ask for more money from your clients, but with that is going to come a higher level of expectation. EXPs, you're going to ask for more money. With that is going to come a higher level of expectations from you. And you got to be able to live up to those expectations and provide a service, or in experiential marketing, provide a experience, right? Because at the end of the day, you are a brand within a brand. Your name matters. Your name matters as an experiential marketing professional. Your name matters as a client when you're working with clients, when you're working with brands. Your name matters. People are going to remember the job that you did or you didn't do. Most of the time, it's what you don't do. It's what you don't do, right? That's what they're going to remember the most, right? So I always talk about it. You got to stay 2 steps ahead of your current situation when you're out there in the field. How can you make sure that that event, that tour runs smoothly? Making sure that you, as Lauren is saying, anticipating client needs and problem solving. You are correct, Lauren. Being able to anticipate what that client is going to need and have a solution for it. Not always calling the account manager or the staffing coordinator to problem solve for you. Yes, they have a set of roles and responsibilities, but you got to come in and you got to be able to do your job and perform at the highest level if you're going to ask for higher compensation. Don't go in and ask for compensation and not do your job, because then it makes it hard for the people out here that perform with quality, that do what they're supposed to do. It makes it hard when they go in and negotiate higher compensation, because the agency or the client is thinking about the bad experience that they had with someone before. All right. So you guys got to always keep that in mind when you are looking to negotiate higher compensation, especially as an event marketing professional. All right. I know I got a little general and I talked about how this can apply to other career fields and other industries. And this is all valid and great information. But I want you guys to know, I'm talking about the experiential marketing professional, those who work as brand ambassadors, tour managers as well. This applies to you specifically, mainly. Y'all know I'm talking about y'all. And I'm always providing gems to you guys first. All right. Second thing you got to keep in mind when you are looking at negotiating higher compensation is other opportunities may arise, right? As an experiential marketing professional, you guys know you got to you got to diversify. Oftentimes, you can't put all your eggs in one basket because events are subject to change. Client needs are subject to change. A tour that you interviewed and applied for, and it's happened to me. I've interviewed and applied for numerous tours, thought I had the tour in the bag, only to get a call that the tour was being canceled due to unforeseen circumstances, right? I had already counted that money up and the tour was canceled. Pandemic, me and my husband was slated to go on tour for 8 months. Had already counted the money up in 2020. Was ready to go. Got a call, pandemic happened, whole tour wiped out, no experiential marketing events going on. It was time to pivot, right? So you guys don't put all your eggs in one basket. Continue to apply for opportunities, and continue to sell your skills and experiences and position yourself as an asset to any agency, to any client. Okay. Other opportunities are going to arise. So when I was talking to my mentee today, he was talking about, Jay, I want to stay working with this agency. I like working with them, but I know that I have to go in and demand a higher compensation because there are other opportunities that are going to arise. And I explained to him, yes, that is the case. Keep in mind those other opportunities, right, gotta be in alignment and make sure that they are in alignment with what you're trying to do. So prime example, you're going to be giving up if you choose to work with this one agency, right? You have to factor in that so many opportunities may arise that may pay more than what this agency may be willing to pay you. But if you're going to be committing 6 months to a year to this agency, you got to factor in that compensation as well. And what is that going to look like for you? How is that going to affect your overall bottom line, right? Your return that you could be receiving by going with another agency. Now, I know oftentimes we talk about being loyal to an agency, working with an agency. That is true, right? Especially that's something to definitely keep in mind, excuse me, guys, especially if you've already committed to a program, right? It's not best practices to just commit to a program and then up and decommit a day before you're scheduled to go on tour. You got to keep those things in mind. Again, that can affect your reputation as well. But you got to factor in other opportunities or other clients when you are looking at negotiating a higher compensation. Is me taking on this tour or this program worth me losing out or decommitting or not having access to 2 or 3 other programs that I could do in a shorter time? Especially if you're looking at an opportunity that's going to take on 6 months to a year in the experiential marketing industry. At that point, you are now limiting the amount of opportunities and programs that you can execute because you've committed to this agency or committed to this client. Yes, they may love you. Yes, right now they may like everything that you're doing for them. But if they value you, if they like the services, if they appreciate everything that you've been able to do for them, right? And how you've been able to successfully navigate through their tour, or my clients, how you've been able to help them, then they shouldn't have a problem when you come to them with a new number, paying you a higher compensation. Now you got to make sure that that number is within reason, it makes sense for you, and it makes sense. And I'm a backtrack. It ain't always got to make sense for them. It has to make sense for you, because at the end of the day, you are the one that's going to be taking yourself out the market and not applying for other opportunities. Okay. So compensation, guys, I can go on and on about this. I could keep talking about this all night. And from my personal experience, I have learned that when you don't ask for the compensation, when you don't value your worth, when you don't stand on the principles and the things and the experience and the knowledge and the expertise that you're going to provide to a program, and you just do it for less than, oftentimes you're disappointed with the result. You're disappointed with some aspect of it because you know deep down that you should be getting paid more, but you're settling. So I want to encourage all of you tonight, right? As you guys go through the end of the year, especially in the experiential marketing industry, you're looking at, okay, it's going to slow down some. This may be a great opportunity as we go into Q4. Brands are going to be looking at spending the rest of their marketing budget for the rest of this year. And they're going to be looking at, okay, what does 2023 hold for us? What kind of programs, what type of events, what type of tours are we looking to negotiate? What type of tours are we looking to execute, right? How can you benefit or bring, how can the services that you have be of benefit to them, right? How can you help them? They're going to be looking at all of that going into 2023. So it's important for you right now to make sure that you're doing all the things to ensure that you're able to demand, I don't want to say demand, but to negotiate the higher compensation that you are deserving of. All right. Have honest conversations, communicate your confidence, your desires and your wants to these agencies. Be transparent about the experience that you have. Be transparent about what you're going to bring to their program, how you're going to be able to successfully execute, manage, or be an asset to their program. But more importantly, guys, you always got to be thinking as a brand first. We are all brands within a brand, right? And you gotta you you got to make sure that as you establish yourself as a brand, you are marketing yourself as that. All right. And I teach you guys that here on the YouTube channel. I teach you guys with all my resources that I have. So make sure you guys are sharing this video with anybody else who needs to hear this tonight. Know your worth, add tax. Don't be afraid to ask for more money. You don't have to settle. All right. Be honest about what you're going to be able to provide for that agency or for that client. And have the conversations with the account managers and staffing coordinators. Nobody likes to be overworked and underpaid. Nobody does not like to feel like what they're bringing to a program is not of value. So you guys got to make sure that you are communicating this as you go through and negotiate for programs in the future. All right. And don't worry about the fact that someone else may do it for less. That's not your concern. Only thing you need to be concerned about is the value that you're going to bring to that program. All right. I've gone through this numerous times. I've learned my lessons. And I've learned that oftentimes when I turn down a program due to the client or the agency not wanting to pay, another opportunity was presented to me at or above the compensation that I wanted. All right. So you guys don't have to settle. And this goes for my clients, my entrepreneurs as well. All right. Find the right clients that'll value your services and that'll pay you. All right. It's all about being in alignment with the right people and positioning yourself for the opportunities that you desire. But like I said, guys, a closed mouth don't get fed. So if you don't ask, the agency's not going to know the value and you are not going to know what to value yourself and what you're really worth. All right. But you got to come in, you ask for that money. You got to be coming in willing and ready and able to do the work and the things necessary provided to earn that pay. All right. So I hope this was helpful to you guys. If you guys enjoyed this, give me some thumbs up, give me some likes. If you guys have any questions, let me go through and read some of the comments really quick. If you guys have any questions, definitely let me know. But again, I'm going to be switching to the YouTube platform now, guys. And I'm also going to be creating another community, exclusive community where I'm going to be dropping gems. I'm going to be bringing in so many leaders, experts in different facets, not only in the experiential marketing industry, but things that matter to you guys. So be on the lookout for that. All right. You guys have a great rest of your week. And as always, guys, you are a brand within a brand. Represent yourself accordingly and know your worth and add tax. All right. Later.